Hey, Pierogi Frenzy says, a man once ate at Chipotle 500 days in a row for charity, and the best part is that his real name is Bruce Wayne. That's the real Bruce Wayne. That's him. That's Batman. That's him. He's doing Chipotle charity now. Giant Spatcher says, how many light snacks to play the FF7 demo instead? Ooh, I think about, there are some games that we play and don't go back to or don't finish that, you know, later on I still think about. And I do think about Final Fantasy a lot. It's one where I'm like, maybe I want to try playing it again off stream or something, because there was something about it. There was something about it! Almost like maybe it's a good game. To play the FF7 demo instead? No, we got an agenda. We looked in the fridge. We gotta know where this takes us now in this game of Disco Elysium that we're playing. Bam! Or Origami was another one where I was like, I could play more Origami. I actually did play more of that off stream though, is the difference. Alright, let's look at this thing real quick. Take it all. Hey, Unwisebird, hello! We got some magnesium. What is this?
A thick layer of cold dust.
Unwisebird says, I have too many light snacks. What's on the old light snacks menu these days? We could put something to gobble them up. Can I do that live? I'm going on to, not Twitch, Twitch dashboard, please. Use them for every Pangea game. That's actually not a bad idea. Can I do this live? Actually, can I go, community? No. How do I do it? I need stream rewards. Viewer rewards. Okay. Channel points. You can only afford 3 Pangea games? Okay, so that tells me you have 30,000 points, right? So let's do it like this. We're going to add a new one right now. We're going to see if this works, because this is going to be riveting for people to watch me look at my phone. Okay, this is not optimized for mobile. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to create a community challenge, and the challenge is going to be named Play All... we'll call it Pangea Software. Pangea Software Superb Stream. Okay. Giant Spatcher says maybe you get a discount. Yeah, because they're all bundled together. Let viewers know what will happen when the challenge is met? Mighty Mike, Nanosaur, and more. Okay. Goal amount. We're gonna set this goal to 40,000 points. And for 30 days. Bam. Oh, yeah, we'll leave it there. Does it need an icon? I don't think it needs an icon. Should I just use a picture from my phone? That seems like an unwise idea. Background color, blue, fine. How can I lock this in now? This looks great to me. This is perfect. I've nailed it. It's all ready to go. I just need to know... there it is. Create. Okay. Start. Double-click these details. Double-check them. Once you start, you won't be able to edit the community challenge. Bam! 40k is maybe too low. It's fine. It's okay. There might be a community challenge now. I don't know if that worked. I don't know if it's something that will update live, but perhaps it did. I guess I could look at my stream. Giant Spatula has contributed 2,000 light snacks total to the Pangea Software Superb Stream Challenge. Thank you, Giant Spatula, for the light snacks. Unwisebird has also contributed 2,000. Is that the limit to how much you can put in at a time? Or is that just a coincidence that you both did that? To the Pangea Software Superb Stream Challenge.
And it's a face of agony.
Let's look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here.
2k is max. Is that the limit per day?
It's coming from above.
All according to plan.
Voices talking to each other.
They told me to
Near the
double check the
cemetery,
details, and I didn't do
upstairs.
that. I was gonna do it, and then they made me not want to do it. Pangea Software Super Stream. 40K is maybe too much. You got 30 days. You got 30 days. Pierogi Frenzy says, I'm not giving mine away. If you don't have 40K light snacks by the time you're 30, you're just lazy. It's true. It's dark and grimy in the furnace.
The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
Oh, also there's voices. What's happening?
Maybe it's coming from somewhere upstairs. You should investigate.
Now, because I have wet my whistle, let's just scream up into the furnace. Hello!
You muster all your strength and yell.
Heh, heh, heh. Giant Spider says you have to stream more so we have more opportunities to hit the challenge. Oh, true. I forgot that we don't stream every day. Okay. We could probably do that. Let's pencil in what night, what day. Sunday is no good, probably. Let's pencil in something for Saturday. I'll post in the Discord about it. We could also do something for Friday. Maybe we could just, but I don't know. I don't know how Fridays work for everybody. Maybe we'll do something that's not Disco Elysium on those days, since those are unusual days for us to stream.
Your throat can produce little more than a dry croak. Awkward, since you already had a drink.
Giant Spatcher says, oh no, I have COVID, so any day is good. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better.
A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you.
Ugh.
The chatter from the chimney continues on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there.
I can't believe...
Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there.
Kick it with my foot. I'm gonna hurt my toe. It's gonna kill me. I knew it.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
Help! Someone!
Yeah, screaming isn't happening.
Presence! I can't believe it.
You're
Oh, you kicked the furnace too hard. Now you're gonna die of a heart attack. I was told that if I could have 0 health, then that would be okay. Hey, Evocator, thank you for the light snacks for the Pangea Software Superb Stream Challenge. Try to remain conscious.
All you feel is pain and weakness. You cop suffers final.
God, I hate this fucking game. Okay, here we go. Doomed commercial area. That's okay. Are you going to die again? I did die again. In fairness, if I didn't want my character to die, obviously I shouldn't have gently kicked a thing. How foolish of me. Fortunately, we did literally
Layer
nothing.
Of coal. Looks like this furnace has a face.
Look
Its
inside the
dark echo is
furnace.
so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the maybe
What's
it's coming
happening?
from somewhere upstairs. You should investigate.
Hello!
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow.
Evocator
echoes
says,
through
Piotr, you are still
the
young.
depths.
True.
The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then
You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
Hello, are you there? Speak to me. Evocator says, at my age, if I wake up wrong, I'm already dead. Oh my gosh. There's a pause.
Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
Puzzle genius.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
Leave. Alright, so that's definitely a save right there. Is there a quick save button on the controller? No. Great, fine. Fine. Oh, I understand. If you wake up wrong. I don't know why I failed to understand that sentence. If you wake up wrong, I'm already dead. Right. Got it. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There is a hidden doorway here. Oh my god, let me in. Oh! Secret land. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. But I just have to point them at somebody. You know, it doesn't matter if they operate or not. God, that's a
few
dangerous
bricks have
game, though.
fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's
What?
too dark to see in.
Where am I?
Inside, a secret room infested with rats, spiders, and wood lice.
Oh my.
Seems like an old weapons cache from the Revolutionary period.
You can say cash. We're friends. So there's a hole in the wall.
There is. Inside, it's nothing but gloomy blackness. Better not stick your hand inside.
Stick your hand inside the hole.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spider webs, rummaging around. You find a number of rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are ugly and inoperable, but a single rifle catches your eye. It's a bolt action with a fine wood stock.
Chekhov would love this. Take the rifle.
A fit service weapon for a fit officer. Too bad it doesn't work. It looks like it's been out of order for years.
What does this mean? A rifle here.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around Martinez. This is an interesting coincidence. Could prove useful in some way. You don't know how yet, but it might be useful down the road.
Let's pawn it.
This is a good find. Really justifies coming down here and looking around.
The game's making fun of me. The rifle's a red herring, obviously. I hate that. Don't be smarmy, game. A ball used for playing shot put, a favorite pastime of elderly gentlemen. You feel like you could hold on to this and make good use of it. To sell such beautiful old school sports equipment would be a sin. A broken Bel Mehrav from ages past. It's a 4-shot, bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. 6K of 40K. Let me think about that. I didn't mean for it to be a community challenge. I meant for it to be instantly fulfilled, but somehow we've accidentally done it. We've accidentally done good streaming. A frozen ice cream maker that's still running. I guess it would... I guess for me, frozen ice cream maker feels redundant, but it's fine. Take all the crap that's here. Drink the nose perol.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
I'm not gonna unplug these devices. What about the melting of the things? I will take this body armor. Insane mesh tank top. Even better. A body armor against people approaching me for a conversation. +1 drama. Clinically insane. What do I have for my current top? I guess the easy way is just swippy swappy, huh? Oh, +1 conceptualization, but it does have an unsavory odor. I do love drama, but I love conceptualization has served me better. Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Oh, I'm here.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. East Delta Commerce
Oh my
Center.
god.
This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Well, look. We'll be back. To look at that. There's a curtain has been opened on the 2nd floor. Not this 2nd floor. Right. That would be strange. Nope. Hey, Soul Foundry, welcome. Says, everyone, stop panicking. I am here. I know there was some confusion, but I am seen, in fact, still existing. That's good. I can do this. I can do this! And typing wrong in bed, lol. It's fine, it's fine.
On the floor, like a dog for its master.
This is my Rubicon. Not my Rubicon. This is my Waterloo. Well, it might be both. It's my Waterloo. No! Don't! So will it damage my health again?
You managed to hoit. See? See? This place is cursed.
This place is cursed. Well, are you going to cross it or not? We crossed it, but it was not a good crossing. Okay, here I am, technically on the second floor, I believe. The floorboards creak. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? Soulfinder says, anytime Waterloo is mentioned, this is my Waterloo. 4 streams of you trying to pick up the barbell. When I do it, it's going to be so good. Oh, it's from Muriel's wedding. I thought this was going to be a Bill and Ted reference. I'll be honest with you. Someday we'll get it. Actually, we probably won't because we've maxed out the amount that we can increase physical instrument. So, in fact, we probably will never lift it. A bit sad, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. A postcard, La Delta 51. The sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes overhead. Oh, it's a verb. Midtown traffic passes. Overhead, the ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist, vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Whoa! We're sending somebody a free postcard. Brogy Friendly says that link couldn't be more purple. The song is perfect. This tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. Oh! And Brogy Friendly says, can you believe that was Sweden's Eurovision entry? The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain something else. It doesn't matter. Not to be weird about it, but it doesn't matter. Okay.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones. Soulfinder says, can you believe there are people that don't like that song? My mother is one of them. Oh my god.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
That's a great question. I am looking for a, I'm looking for 2 percentile dice. So I want one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then one that has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 00. No, that's wrong. They both need 0 through 9. I'm sorry. Progy Friendly says, you train your whole life to represent your post-World War II nation. You climb the ranks, get selected for Eurovision, go to perform, and then fucking ABBA appears. Ugh, brutalized. Overkill. Soulfinder says, there are many reasons I don't speak to my mother anymore. Her hatred of ABBA is one of the many.
Could this be
It's a deal
malicious
breaker.
entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard.
Oh.
You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on. What do you mean by milieux?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table. Evocator says, Soulfinder, you aren't wrong, but that is so specific, lol.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Are you listening to pirate radio? Because that's dope as hell. You must have confused me for someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice? Progy Friendly says it's like playing a game of pickup against LeBron James. LeBron is the ABBA of the NBA. He's the Nababa. Naba. All
I'm a
good.
novelty dice
All
maker.
wonderful.
Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of, I guess with the percentile dice we could play some Call of Cthulhu. Ugh. Just this weekend, I was going through a bunch of old books, and I have old Call of Cthulhu books from... Ooh, I probably bought them in like 2005 or 2006. And it's a trip. I used to read those backwards and forwards, and I really, really loved them when I was like a young teen. But there's some harrowing stuff in there. There's like substance abuse and domestic violence and like grave robbing and stuff. I think that reading it now, I'm like, maybe I was a little young for it at the time, but it's very nostalgic nonetheless. Continue.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with her ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
I like role-playing games, and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual.
Is grave robbing really that bad? I'm actually with you on that. It's a victimless crime. It's a victimless crime! All people should be ground up into dog food when they perish. Yep, that's final answer. All people should be ground up into dog food when they perish. This brought to you by Soylent Green. Progy Friend says, let's take back grave robbing. It's not grave robbing, it's ingredient liberating. Evil Getter says, gonna clip that. No!
Take a look around.
Would that
see if
upset
there's
Zug's
anything
tummy?
in the
Probably.
stone you want to
But her
use.
tummy is very easily upset, so that's, no remarkable thing. Okay,
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites.
I'm just saying, if you want to let me do this differently, because I realize it's wrong for me to push my belief that all corpses should become dog food on everybody else. When I pass away, perish the thought, please, I wouldn't mind if I get ground up into dog food. Is there some kind of a dog food donor thing that I can get on my ID? If so, I would like to opt in. Unwisebert says, Resurrection Men is such a cool name/group to be part of.
This person means you or no one else. Absolutely no harm.
No.
She will answer freely and honestly.
Soulfighter says, I hear people smell like pork when cooked in the show Archer. God, the really old butler says something about meeting some tribesmen who call it long pork. Okay, and by it, I mean human flesh. This person means you and no one else, absolutely no harm. Okay, great.
No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags? Evocator says, Piotr, if you have a will, I'm pretty sure you could get that in there. I'm pretty sure I could get that in there, yeah. I actually don't have a will. I mean, I don't have, a little bit I'm like, who will take all my board games and miniatures, but that's about my estate. Soulfinder says, from all the police videos I've watched, it typically smells like barbecue of some kind. Pork, usually. That doesn't sound so bad. Don't watch the movie Soylent Green. We've actually brought this up a number of times on this channel. But it's watch it by yourself when you have nothing else to do. But if you try to watch it with somebody else, they'll be like, the whole time they'll be like, this movie's really fucking weird. Why are we watching this? And they'll be right. They'll be right. Giant Spadger says, who's going to get your Stadia controller? Collector's item. True. There it is. True.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
It is sort of a collector's item. It's a sad collector's item, though. Most of the collector's items that I have are happy ones, like a bee signed by Stan Lee that looks like him, so it's Stan B. Or this Google Eye Elrond, who you can't see. He's not in shot right now. But the Stadia controller, that's just failed ambitions. That's tough. Soulfinder says, I want the mug with the stash. I will wrestle someone for it. We can sell tickets. Oh, the pot of greed mug is so good.
Who cares about the dead?
Maybe this camera needs to be a little bit more this way, actually, because usually the pot of greed is in shot, and I keep drifting out of shot to this direction, so. Seriously, you've got a great view of the courtyard. You didn't see or hear anything Sunday night?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
You're the killer. Arrest this woman. Get her, Kim. Oh God, Kim's not here. Giant Spot says it belongs in a museum. There's a museum of failed inventions. Oh, that could be a good place for it. Oh. Let's see. I see. She's harmless. I see. Thank you for your answers. We're not gonna push her on it.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
I'd like to order a die from you.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you know the Whirl untethered setting? I want to die for that.
Ah, yes. Fortress accident. It's too bad they never finished their game. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. Only, instead of plants, it uses motives of ice and death. And loss, of course.
Do most role-playing dice use plants? Evocator says, met a traveler from an antique land who said, too vast and controllerless joysticks of stone. Ah, that's as far as I got. That's all you need. Oh, I gotta watch, I don't gotta watch Watchmen again. Maybe I do want to watch Watchmen again. I have to at least read Watchmen again. Self-Under says, I demand a WrestleMania now. Progy Frenzy, I bet we will look great in spandex and masks. I just decided you can be the headliners. Oh, good. It's all coming together.
Ice, death, loss. Sounds like you.
I don't eat ice. That's disgusting.
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, death. For 7 real, I could have it ready in 8 hours.
Oh, hell yes. It's a deal.
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
No, that's all. You're a gem. Soulfinder says, also, and Pierogi Frenzy says, let's clear this up, that I would not look good in spandex. And on Wisebird says, is the giant octopus thing in the movie or the comic? It is in the comic. The movie ending, controversially, I think, makes more sense than the giant octopus ending. But the giant octopus is in the TV show. They don't show it, like, or they don't really show it or even talk about it. But there's, like, a part where there's like, flashes of a whole bunch of scenes. I can't quite remember why, but the octopus is there. So the octopus happened in the TV show version, crucially. Where are we anyway? What is this place? Evocator says, I forgot about the TV show. OMG! I liked the TV show. I admit that I like a lot of things that aren't very good, but I did really like the TV show. Soulfunder says, I'm not sure how many cannibal barbecue police videos I've seen. I have one that comes to mind immediately. Oh my god, a 20-something refused to get a job, so he killed his parents and then tried to get a job eating them?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
I mean, your home is beautiful. You've really done something marvelous here, and I envy your weird little house. Rangoat says, hello, the dice maker is cool. Agreed.
Plaisance was
Welcome,
right.
Rangoat.
There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady?
I mean, Plaisance.
I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Oh, I have to do this. Okay. I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's why I'm here to investigate.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks?
Hold on.
People say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on. The Whirling is part of the DCA?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project.
2 houses, both alike in the East Delta Commerce Center project. You're right, the whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Soul Foundry, no offense, but I'm probably not going to click through to that YouTube video of cannibalism.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse. I don't think that we believe in the
I
curse.
was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Nah, dog.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. There is no cannibalism? Oh, okay, he tries to burn his parents' bodies in the fireplace? I mean, that's also pretty brutal.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
No, it's been a pleasure to speak with you, though.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see. Blaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
Whatever. Why hasn't her business failed? Shivers. If this kills me, I'm gonna be upset. Sylvander says he's a weird dude, but then again, any killer is not gonna be all there, I assume. I think that's fair to say.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Let's leave it at that.
She has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Oh my word, what happened to the gym? How did they make weights that are impossible for any strong human to lift?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
He's sort of the king around here. No, he's a little, ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Who was Artemitep?
A kind man, from Zemsk.
Zemsk?
But he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
How did the community project work out?
It didn't.
No.
If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Is it?
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Get out of here, Logic.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt.
No.
This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar.
Amazing
They
name.
weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have any opinion. No, if you have an opportunity to have an opinion, why would you not have one? What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She tucks a strand of hair under the headscarf. Rangoon says, Piotr, when we hear about a pale eating everything up. Okay. Piotr, when he hears the name of a fictional nation, Zhmesk. Zemsk. Zemsk? What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as
Ah.
a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
It's a shame about those cool, very cool about the debris, but what's a snuff milieu?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims.
Oh.
Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Oh! I thought it was some kind of like something you inhale through your nose when you said snuff, but now I understand. I like that a lot less.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Rengwet says also there's a thought for just picking neutral options. Actually, two thoughts. For political opinions, you get the centrist thought, and for neutral options in general, you get boring cop. Fantastic. That's horrible. Were they arrested?
I believe the ICP got them. They have a special division that deals exclusively with Sub Rosas.
And Rengwet says there's an amazing dialogue choice you have around that, which I won't spoil, but it had me laughing.
It's the Copperpedia reporting in. ICP stands for International Collaboration Police.
Thank you, Encyclopedia.
In any case, I don't think it's your job to worry about what happens on Milius. I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it. Things like that are better forgotten.
I found some creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I did not know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Remember when we played Geneforge and the armor was made of chitin? That was great. Okay.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price
Neat!
to
Oh
skyrocket.
yeah! Everything's alive in Geneforge. It's biopunk.
And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains.
Oh.
But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
It's a murder!
Anything else?
Speaking of dead things, did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Rengwet says, I don't know much about Geneforge. Does the gameplay involve a lot of that biological sci-fi stuff, or is it more just style? I would say a lot of it is style. Your lockpicks are a living tool, and your armor is a chitin, but they work like lockpicks and armor. You know, there's not like a gameplay mechanic around it, per se. Rengwet says, damn, that's disappointing. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, some of it, there's some fun ideas, and like, the fact that you make animals and have like your little Pokemon guys is extremely important to the gameplay and plot, but a lot of that stuff is really just palette swaps basically for mechanics that you might find in a different game. There are living mines, but they work like mines. It's the same thing. It's not like Caves of Qud, where you have these crazy mutation mechanics. No, not like that.
Anything else?
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
What a dick!
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tumutiri or Hashkor or wherever he is.
What did the transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
I see. She laughs and turns around in her chair.
The Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those keys and blades are still lying around in the house.
So what you're saying is those are just to take, pretty much.
They were just the props. Why
Breakthrough
return?
imminent. Oh my god, we're gonna find out about the mysterious Invisibug. Regret says, granted, Caves of Crude has a lot of the mutations are just abilities, but your levels for them is based around which mutations you picked. And the fun part is food becomes a core mechanic, because you can gain mutations from mutated creatures. That's kind of interesting. I guess you really are what you eat. I found a strange machine!
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face.
She liked them.
Oh.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
Seems extreme.
That's understandable.
I mean, that's
Fantasies are
understandable.
serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
The mind is the drawing board of history!
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break. Rengo says, yes, like how bananas let you know how to make all technology just by touching it, because bananas are super geniuses. If bananas could talk, man, I think that we'd be in trouble. And also if they had hands to manipulate stuff. Then, I mean, because if they could talk, they could boss us around, but we could choose to ignore them. Whereas if they had their own hands, then we'd really be screwed. Okay.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
Rengo says, which is a joke, but not even half off from the truth. There's a banana tree village where the residents are banana trees.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
Pierogi Frenzy says, I don't like this sapient banana line of inquiry. I think that, so you know how Mr. Elon Musk and various other ventures he's a venture, that's the grammatically consistent sentence, are putting brain chips in things. I think we need to see some kind of a banana mech where it's like a little robot. It doesn't need to be big. You know, it could be this big or so. And it looks like a mech, but in the little pilot seat, it's just a banana with a bunch of electrodes on it. Ugh. Bring on the banana mechs. We're ready. And Rengo says, also the banana trees eat you.
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't.
That's
have
like the
enough
opposite of real
willpower
life.
To produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
Ugh. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk. And Rengo says, well, you all can also eat the bananas. It's like a war over eating each other.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Oh my god, there's only a 5% chance.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
Yes, I wanted to say that there is a terrified taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
What were their other ideas?
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
I already saw that episode of Arrested Development. I think it's like the second one.
And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Unwiseman says, whoa, banana equivalent dose, BED, is an informal unit of measurement of ionizing radiation exposure. I've sort of heard of this. Intended as a general educational example to compare a dose of radioactivity to the dose one is exposed to by eating one average-sized banana. Rainbow says, I love being paid less than $1. Yeah, I've heard of this before. There's something about banana radiation. Although I don't know the details. But that's how you know they're powerful.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works in Frita as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravashow ICT. And they already had the bear.
She closed her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
What about the other half?
Eventually, Ravashow Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
That bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared, like it could become alive any moment now.
The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his
Bear
vision
joke?
beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherium.
We also have a new community challenge. I don't know if you all noticed. If there's a new possibility to help us work towards the Pangea Software Superb stream, where we play all the Pangea Software games we were talking about, but mainly Nanosaur, if I'm being real. Maybe Nanosaur 2, Mighty Mike, Bugdom. Oh, we'll play them all. Megatherium.
Megatherium, a mega wild beast.
What? It's a mega wild beast.
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Nice. A bear who tells you to do drugs?
The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Not now, you beast! Cocaine bear. True. Do you ever feel like your vision beast is trying to blackmail the fun out of you?
No, officer. I don't have a vision beast.
Well, maybe you should get one.
Normal people don't have vision beasts. Only drug-addled madmen like the taxidermists do.
What about horrific neckties? Do normal people have horrific neckties?
Neckties? I guess they do sometimes, officer. But I don't understand how it's relevant to our discussion.
Understand this.
Anyway, now you know the
Pulls out the
story
fake
of
rifle.
Golden Ice
Or the broken
Cream.
rifle.
Anything else?
Yeah, I
Another
found...
failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
Oh god, no. Nobody's coming to your business.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
So, you're telling me that you have a doorbell there. Which one?
The one with an empty name card. It's the
Ah.
last one on the list. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
I have more questions about the intercom.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work.
I have more questions
Sure,
about the
I'm
building.
listening.
Actually, I had other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
How did you become a dice maker? This is me trying to make small talk with somebody in real life. I just run out of things to say, and I'm desperately trying to think of something that they said to me, and I'll jump back to something from like 10 minutes ago and be like, oh, you're a dice maker, right? Well, tell me more about that.
How did I become one? It was a business decision.
Rainbow says you
That was a
didn't
very
actually press the
word
doorbells.
first.
She mentions if you
That's
press
an
hers.
unfocused
Oh,
field
interesting.
With too much competition.
Yeah, we looked at the doorbells and pieced out and noped out rather, as you may recall.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I
Do you-
do it from there.
Like role-playing games yourself? Rainbow says, also I think you'd remember the spooky ghost moment from the doorbell.
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
I believe it.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Well, that's all.
Call the Mama Dakwa.
Call the Mama Dakwa!
It's not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you. A cockroach
Yes.
in the other room.
I hear everything.
A rapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair in a bar 20 meters away. In fact, you haven't heard the Col du Mama Dakwa, but you have discovered that you have amazing hearing. It must be the only part of you the alcohol hasn't drowned out. Keep listening.
Rengwet says, I won't elaborate on what the spooky ghost moment means. Okay. We have +3 perception, but -1 encyclopedia because our golden ears have pushed out everything else in our brain. Well, let's go talk to old Plaisance. We're going to go past the weight, but we're not going to try to lift it because it's done. The weight path has been closed off to us. Most likely. Bummer. Wait, didn't I have another physical instrument thing to do? Sleeping dock worker? Yeah. We could try to wake him up. Measure head, we're not going to do that. Let's try to wake that man up. There's a shortcut out? Oh, we did. That's right. We did actually find the shortcut. But I want to go talk to Plaisance.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
Okay. Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Not really.
Why not? Was she not friendly enough? Were you not compelled to talk to her?
I don't know. I just walked right in here instead.
Oh yes, okay, that makes sense. It's working then. Yes. Do browse our books, sir.
I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Depends. How much do you pay the kid?
Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
In some more developed countries, this sort of thing is 2 felonies. Child labor and slavery.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Are we done with the jokes now?
No, because the way you're handling her strikes me as wrong.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society...
Oh, we live in a society now?
How to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
Alright, let's change the subject. Rengwet says, I'm here to abolish child labor. So, do you pay your child labored kid well?
Before you
I'm just trying to
scream for
figure out the
stop,
going rate
her
before I hire
shoulders
some kids of
rigid
my own.
and tense.
Come back to that
Every
with
now and
Kim?
then, She nudges her glasses.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
I don't think it's that. I didn't check that all the dice were not made of sheep ankles, but I'm pretty sure that they weren't. She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you. I like that we've turned against Plaisance.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself. It does need tearing down.
It does need tearing down.
Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
That is a very funny idea, Drama. However, Progi Frenzy says, oh, interesting. The words for die and ankle are the same in Polish. That is interesting. Well, I mean, obviously, you can if you're rolling dice, you can say you're rolling dem bones. So roll de bones, right? Ringwhat's the lie is so funny, lol. The source is the taxidermist shop. You became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place. You know what? We'll do it. I'm down. Ringwhat says, I didn't get this because I said fuck it to her and broke in and she wasn't happy since, with me. The source is the taxidermist shop. You became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place. Pierogi Frenzy says it's also the same word as cube. Ouch! I sprained my cube!
Oh, how horrid! I knew something wasn't right about that place.
Yes.
Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
Yes! I performed the ancient Seamanese dispelling rites. This commercial area is doomed no more. Or, we could say I called upon the spirit of Guillaume Le Million to banish the curse in a flash of disco brilliance, which is stupendous. But she's probably not going to believe it. I performed the ancient Seamanese dispelling rites.
Of course. I trust my Seminese wards and charms kept you safe while you perform the ancient rites.
She looks at you with sudden admiration. Yes, I will marry you, Plaisance. Ringwith says, also Kim encouraged me to break in because it could be important to the case. Kim caught in 4K telling us to enter other people's private property without warrants. Oh my god. Soulfinder says, kochanie is still my favorite Polish word, besides kielbasa.
All that matters is that the energies are retreating.
Kochanie.
I can already feel the curse lifting. It will be a long time until we're fully free of it.
Of course. Of course.
Still, thank you, officer.
Oh my god, king of
You've brought a better
lying to people.
psychoemanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
She so badly wants this to be over. She would have believed anything.
What a idiot.
It will only last a day or two, a week tops. Then her mood will sour and she will feel the curse again.
All good. Alright, Plaisance. Enjoy your week or two. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Didn't somebody say there was like a curtain open? That wasn't the dice shop, was it? I can't believe it's only Tuesday. But for me, it was Tuesday. So there's this kochania is fun to wine. Kochania, I wined it at my mentee a lot. Oh, are you mentoring people? I was just in a meeting today where I said that, well, all the people at my work are younger than me, which is a bit brutal. But I said in a meeting that I'm excited about the opportunity to mentor those people, which is somewhat true. But I think, if I'm being honest, might be me just trying to feel better about being an old man there. Pierogi Frenzy says, to be fair, you're playing this game really crazy. We are being a bit wacky. Oh, let's talk to this child. Let's go look the second floor curtain, whatever crap. Let's see. I think we're just playing it very inconsistently, is something that I've realized. We're kind of all over the place here, I'll admit. Soulfinder says, my current mentee is Jen. She's older than me. I cannot speak languages with her. She speaks Mom, though, very well. How do you like mentoring people at your work? I actually really do enjoy it. It's something that when I get the opportunity to do, I do try to seek it out. Rengot says, then again, I did end up playing a bit like Piotr as I went on and made more serious decisions.
2 cables are plugged into
Unplug
an
everything.
electric sizzle.
Unplug all that crap. Oh, wait. I don't think I did unplug all that crap.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr and electric sizzle.
Eat it, you big scary bear. You have no power
His
here.
eyes are dead and empty.
God, what is the line from, from Labyrinth? I gotta look it up. I'm sorry. It's gonna bother me otherwise. Labyrinth. IMDb quotes. We're doing it. Do we want to share this? Is it worth it? Yeah, we'll do it real quick. Window capture. Bam. Bam. Okay. let's just see real quick. Something about the land of the goblins. Do. Give me the child! Through dangers untold and hardships unnumbered, I have fought my way here to the castle beyond the goblin city to take back the child that you have stolen. For my will is as strong as yours, and my kingdom is as great. You have no power over me. That is helpful. Thank you. Oh, I gotta sign in? See you later. Okay. I like Labyrinth. In conclusion, they made a Soul Foundry. I can't remember if I posted this in the Discord. They made a Labyrinth tarot card set that came out this year. I know Dark Crystal is more your jam, but it did make me think of you. Soul Foundry says, I love it. I get to be a supervisor without being a supervisor. I get to say, why don't you do it like this? And I am a total control freak. I also produce amazing workers, so I also like looking at my little pets when I am done and being like, they are all grown up now. That's nice. It is very fulfilling, isn't it, to see somebody improve. Renguat says, my little pets. That's a bit of an unhinged way to word it. True. My pretties. Go! Improve your careers! Okay, let's see here. Anything else here?
This old fire, the whole thing resembled.
We don't have a password. Anything else here?
Your flesh,
My younglings!
some of
Oh
the
god, the
region is
younglings! I read that the lightsaber that, Rey finds in Star Wars, the new ones, is Anakin Skywalker's sword, lightsaber rather, that he killed all the younglings with. There was a meme about it where there's the part in one of those awful movies where she's holding the dagger, the Sith dagger, and she's like, this dagger has done terrible things. And it says, meanwhile Rey possesses the youngling killer 3000 or something. Unwisebird says, Soul Foundry says, they are not my friends, and they are more coworkers at this point. I feel for them and only want the best for them. I don't like calling them my projects. Fair. And Unwisebird says, I think everyone who has looked up to me has gone on to fail. That's fine. That means they're taking chances. You know, if people succeed all the time, then you're not being bold enough. The personage of that sentence changed several times, but I trust you understand what I mean. Ringwood says, I noticed in Star Wars they never say kid. They always say younglings. In a meme edit I saw recently of 3 and convinced my friend it was the complete version with cutscenes added, even unfinished ones. Hold up. A meme edit I saw recently of 3. Oh, you convinced your friend that it was the complete version. I gotcha. Doesn't Han Solo call Luke Skywalker kid? I mean, he's not saying he's a child. He must. No, he doesn't say don't get cocky kid. He just says don't get cocky. Maybe I dreamed it. Progy Freddy says, not lying, the 2 women I dated before my wife both came out after we broke up. I feel like that's a rite of passage to date a person who then comes out later. Etched into the wood, barely visible. Remember the rest is lost to time. Oh my god, I was a traveler to an antique land or something, and I saw 2 benches sticking up out of the sand like goddamn pillars. And they said, remember such hubris. Piotr Bizzle, 2024. Let's go wake up the man in the bar. Now that I'm stronger. Renguat says, such as convincing her that George Lucas was too weird with his vision for the others, that they cut the scene where Anakin keeps farting, and in an interview he said the farts represent the darkness escaping Anakin. I do think that is one of the reasons that I mean, this is not a controversial opinion. One of the reasons that the originals are better than the prequels is that just like In the originals, there were people reining George Lucas in, and later on he was not so much. Unwisebird says, "Is this Ozymandias?" It was an attempt. Oh, the man's not asleep. How can I wake a non-sleeping man? Oh, holy shit. Bub, are you guys doing disco times?
Can I help you?
Oh, we need to find that tape. Speak to me. Do you have a tape? You know who might have a tape? We're going to the pawn shop. They would have tapes. People would sell their albums to a pawn shop. I reckon. Oh. What do I hear? Scribbled between the thighs of a page 3 girl. L'origine du disco. Okay. L'orange. Disco à l'orange. Okay. Speak to this man. Aha!
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Ringwood says she didn't see that part, sadly, so we just told her, but she missed the parts that would reveal it like that. Ah, okay, the hologram with the bad guy, but whenever he talks, it's just a loud dial-up sound. Or a scene where it goes between shots of council member and looks at the Joker for one. Somebody says, do y'all play Pokemon Go? I'm sadly addicted to this game because I take public transit. I used to work with a guy who played Pokemon Go all the time. Way past kind of the big furor of Pokemon Goism. But I haven't played it since then.
Oh yeah.
Or I never played it. I haven't really been exposed to it since then, I should say.
A giant sword in each
It's still going though, huh?
Encircled by burning embers. Behind him
Oh!
is a cluster of engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyamdal burning.
That is a rad Man from Hyamdal t-shirt you've got there.
Hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just pure exemplar.
We have a lot in common. I'm a big fan of the Man from Hyamdal too.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a fan, but I do think the Hyamdalaman saga is an integral part of our shared reality.
So listen, so that opinion makes it sound like you're a fan, but go ahead, Bird's Nest Roy.
Most people don't think that the man from Hyamdal really existed, but they're wrong.
Oh, you're blowing my mind, Roy. Are you telling me the Man from Hyamdal was real?
I mean, even if the man from Hyamdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
I'm totally with you, Roy. Reality has a way of bending back on itself.
Exactly. Cause and effect work in both directions.
Very true. Rangwet says she did buy the part in the Star Wars Episode 3 where a chase scene was replaced with test footage for the CGI and they're fucking T-posing. And the best part is it kept changing the animation style and quality. It also had the part that made no sense where Obi-Wan takes out Grievous's heart, throws it, and then Grievous dies when he shoots the heart. It makes perfect sense. It's some kind of a wireless heart. God, I need a wireless heart. Soul Foundry says, I get my ass handed to me when I play Pokemon Go against people, but I'm a deaf gym defender. I can protect the gym and get my daily coins with ease.
Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hyamdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there.
I love that the Man from Hyamdal has actually opened up new dialogue options for us.
His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity.
And Rangwat says, oh man, and there was this fight scene, but every time they're about to do an action, it cuts to Anakin dropkicking Obi-Wan.
Very, very unique energies indeed. Geomagnetic ley lines, one might even say.
Pierogi Frenzy says, Soul Foundry, I am in awe of your hobby stamina. How much are you selling this t-shirt for?
2 real.
Oh. Wait. Oh, she didn't charge me for the dye yet.
That's very cheap for a printed t-shirt that's still in pretty good shape.
Pierogi Frenzy says, watching this stream is my hobby, and it's exhausting. I mean, yeah, it's this. I understand that. It's a lot. It's hard work. This stream, my God, it's a pretty much a train wreck. That's unusually cheap, isn't it?
It should belong to anyone who is ready to wear it.
I'm doing it.
You should.
I've thought it over. I want the T-shirt. It's gonna make me a more physical instrument.
Welcome to Hyundal, officer.
Holy shit. Does this count as now I get to go lift the weight? Could you imagine? Oh, that would be the perfect story. Stop. Man from Hyamdal series. Pain threshold medium. Barbell. Oh, no, we can't. Oh, wait, no, I have to put the shirt on. No, I did put the shirt on. Ah, bummer. Well, I'm wearing the shirt. F it. F all you guys.
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Hey man, where'd you get this street light?
It was brought to me to be altered.
Oh?
The light's buzzing resembles the purring of a cat. It seems very much at home here.
I'm gonna let my gaze run over the street light.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug.
That's
the
fun.
Light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Rangwat says, you know it's off to a good start when the film started with the JoJo music in the background of the first fight scene. I don't think I would have recognized the JoJo music. But yeah, if you want a Disney Plus complete edition of Revenge of the Sith, DM me on Discord. Very nice. Somebody says, Pierogi Frenzy, I'm gonna crochet something by the end of this year. I'm determined. Oh. I think that I'm an ignorant person, but my understanding is knitting and crochet and stuff, that is a time-intensive hobby. You can do other stuff. You can listen to a podcast or watch a movie or whatever, but still. There's the thing about... Did we talk about this on the stream before? I'm sure we did, because I really only know like 5 things, and so I just talk about them over and over again on the stream. But the sweater curse was related to knitting, and that is why we are going to... Microsoft Edge right now. Bam! The sweater curse. So the sweater curse is a thing that if you knit your significant other a sweater, it will cause the relationship to end. The sweater curse, or the curse of the love sweater, is a term used by knitters and crocheters to describe the belief that if a knitter or crocheter gives a hand-knit sweater to a significant other, it will lead to the recipient breaking up with the knitter. In an alternative formulation, the relationship will end before the sweater is even completed. The belief is widely discussed in knitting publications, and some knitters claim to have experienced it. In a 2005 poll, 15% of active knitters said that they have experienced the sweater curse firsthand, and 41% considered it a possibility that should be taken seriously. Despite its name, the sweater curse is treated in knitting literature not as a superstition governed by paranormal forces, but rather as a real-world pitfall of knitting that has rational explanations. Several plausible mechanisms for the sweater curse have been proposed, but it has not been studied systematically. What's the opposite of this? Socks blessing? And Giant Spatcher says, no one appreciates how much work it takes to make a handmade item, so this is true. I think that's one of the things that they have in the proposed mechanisms, yeah. So the first, okay, here are the proposed mechanisms for the sweater curse. Number 1, unlucky timing. Knitting a sweater takes a long time, and the relationship dies of natural causes during its making. 2, catalyst for analyzing the relationship. Giving or receiving a significant gift, such as a sweater, may cause either the giver or receiver to evaluate the relationship. For example, the gift may seem too intimate, too domestic, or too binding to the significant other. It can be seen as a signal that makes them realize that the relationship is not reciprocal, etc., 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 etc. Similarly, the reaction from the recipient of the sweater could show pre-existing issues in the relationship if the gift is met with ingratitude. Indifference to the giver's efforts have been described as potentially a sign of more worrisome indifference, though not always. Just commit. You don't need that. Why equivocate on that? Number 3, aversion. The significant other may simply not want to wear anything hand-knit. A hand-knit sweater can also subject them to ridicule, either because the sweater looks bad or conveys overly domestic connotations. And the last one is misdirected attention. The knitter loves the sweater a little too much and pesters the significant other about the sweater. Alternatively, the knitter loves to knit too much and spends too much time with their knitting instead of with the significant other. Anyway, so if you're gonna go crochet, just know the sweater curse is real. It's out there. Piotr reads Wikipedia and offers editing advice. The stream. Listen. I wish I was a good editor. I know some people who are really good editors of writing, and often on the stream I emulate them and try to give notes on the things that we read. Although not in this game. The writing is really very good in Disco Elysium. But it's not because I think that I'm good. It's because I want to be like the people who I admire. Soul Foundry says, I just want to finish a scarf. I've never finished a knitting project, but I have finished crocheting many things. Maybe I have a knitting curse. Oh my god, it's all curses this stream. Is that a streetlight? How much for the streetlight?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Even taking into account the risk of attaining a streetlight, that seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Well, sounds good.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Mister, do you have any tapes? Stand on the tips of my toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite.
I don't have any money.
Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Thank you, Soul Foundry, very much for the light snacks. It is the time. Let's go take a look at today's featured hero clicks. Bam, 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 ba bam, bam, ba bam. Oh, yeah, he's framed up pretty good. Bam! Today's featured hero clicks. Now, I want you to think about what this guy might be named. I want you to imagine in your head. Just take a look at this man. We'll rotate him a little bit. Just try to kind of soak it in. What would we call this man? He's got chaps for some reason. Assless chaps. But he's wearing a onesie over it or underneath it, so it's all good. He's got kind of a leather jacket. He's got maybe like a white domino mask or something. Soul Foundry says that's my after shower pose. He is kind of smooth criminaling a little bit. Slant. That would be a good name. Yeah. I basically bring this up because I don't think that you're likely to guess his actual name, which is, of course, Chipmunk Hunk. Chipmunk Hunk. Chipmunk Hunk! Is the name Chipmunk Hunk? His name is Chipmunk Hunk. This is Chipmunk Hunk. And you might... There are some cases where, like, maybe you would find out the name and you go like, oh, he's Chipmunk Hunk. But there's no... I can't see it. I don't know why he's the Chipmunk Hunk. Giant Spudger says, yep, I never would have guessed that. So this is the Chipmunk Hunk. Classic example of a not very interesting model becoming amazing because of its name. Soul Foundry says, Chipmunk Hunk is my newest screen name. Yeah, so he's fantastic. You can call me this now. Crucially, Chipmunk Hunk is actually not that powerful. Rangoet says, hell yeah! So Karen, as you know, is 20 points. Our standard size Karen, whose size we are about to compare him to. Chipmunk Hunk is also 20 points. So these two, if you had a team... I mean, you could make these two fight each other. They would just be rolling dice at each other. It wouldn't be a very interesting game. But these guys are the same power level, is what I'm trying to say. Let's use our spirit level to confirm if their height level is also the same. As you can see, my god, yes it is. The standard is a standard for a reason. Standard size Karen continues to be the way that we determine exactly how tall HeroClixes are. Karen is so intimidating. Karen's got a pretty powerful pose here compared to him. I mean, this to me, this hands in the pockets, this is kind of faux relaxed, right? You're looking like you're casual or whatever, but actually his hands are sweating inside those leather pockets, and he's smooth criminaling without even realizing it. He's having a terrible time. He's trying to look natural, but it's not working. So everybody says, where is Mecha Karen? I need a dose of Mecha Karen. All right, let me go get Mecha Karen, but it's not painted still. It's still one of my many projects on the back burner is Mecha Karen. Rigo says, F, I'm trying to post a fart clip, but the file is too big without Discord Nitro, apparently. I had that problem during, Lord, during... I had that problem during the game jam, trying to post videos of the game up. I had to like make them all crunchy and what is the word? Compressed in order to put them up. Here's Mecha Karen. There she is. It's a good call, Soul Foundry. We should check in on Mecha Karen periodically and just see how she's doing. As you can see, still not painted. Primed though. Primed. Ready to be painted. That actually was way worse when I took the magnifying glass away. I'm sort of surprised by that. There she is. And yes, she is still, as you know, magnetized. So we can switch out and put the original part on. Oh, that's not it. We can put the original face on this big robot. Bam. Or it can fall off when I set it down. And we can put Karen in instead because she is magnetized. Fantastic. Soulfighter says, Mecha Karen gives me so much life. I love her. I gotta paint her. The thing is, like, a very real thing is that just, like, painting a big model takes so much longer than painting a small one. Even if, like, the two kind of variables that determine, I mean, for me, the way that I paint, at least, that determine how long it's going to take to paint something are the number of colors and the size of the model. And both of those just, like, really, really ratchet up the amount of time that it takes to paint something. Pierogi Frenzy says, Lamau, amazing! And Sulfur says she's on par with Greed Mug. They give me life. And then Wisebird says, I don't know why, but she reminds me of the bad guy in Mad Max Fury Road. And Rango says, Piotr Bissell, look at the Trice channel. You need to see the gloriously immature clip. I'll take a look at it after the stream. And Sylvania says she's like Gartham in the Dark Crystal to me. She's pretty cool. I mean, this is supposed to be... the model originally is supposed to be like a man who has been grafted onto a robot. And so it's sort of perfect to be able to put her in its place. And we had all these magnets. My God, just too many magnets. So we got to paint this at some point. But it's a huge model, and we're talking about... Oh, I mean, what are we going to paint him? I probably want him to fit the other robots that I have in the same army. So he's probably going to be dark green and gold. He's going to need steel color for the kind of parts between his joints, right? So like his elbow is going to be gold, or his hands are going to be green, but like the little in-between pipes are going to be silver probably. That's 3 colors minimum, but you're talking about probably doing some kind of white with a wash on it for those little ribs there. It's just a big model, a lot of colors. He's got skulls on the sides, so you need some white or like some bone, eggshell or something to paint those with. Oh, it's a lot to do. Anyway. Pierogi Friend says, you got your Karen in my Grimdark Mecha. You got your Grimdark Mecha in my Karen. No, make it minivan colored. That would be, I mean, the other way to go would be to paint it red, right? So that it would match Karen better. Like we did with the Combat Karen, who we'll get right now. Bam, 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 bam. Let's see. Let me get all these Karens here. We have Karens in various stages of being painted. Right, so... I think we've done this before. I think we've already seen this. Make it minivan colored for Karen. Oh, she would drive around in a minivan. That's true. Mecha Karen, Taylor's version. Hey, Sam the Geek, welcome. Combat Karen, why haven't I gotten this? Okay, so we have... So in terms of my various Karen alters, this is Combat Karen. Can we just pitch this down a little bit? As you can see, it's Karen with 2 sweet guns. Did a little bit of terrible modeling to make her hair kind of match in and line up with the model. But here's our Combat Karen, compared to our standard size Karen, for instance. Rango says, Mecha Karen, Mecha Karen. Sam the Geek says, once again, I see a lot of video games happening. We actually had a pretty good run going. And Rango says, when is Marvel going to make the Karen film? I guess it would be a Daredevil film. She's kind of a Daredevil person. But yeah, so this is the fully painted one. And in keeping with this channel, of course, we've chosen a model with a prominent booty. We've also got Cowboy Karen, who is primed but not painted, and probably needs a little bit of work to fill in kind of the edges where her head has been grafted on. Also, the hat looks preposterous. Does not look natural at all. Solar says, OMFG, yes! Mecha Karen is the best. Combat Karen can sit by me on the bus. And Renguet says it's stop motion and every character looks like a HeroClix figure. Also, Cowboy Karen is the best. We also have one more Karen who I don't have a name for yet. And Salvardi says, Cowboy Karen is my new bestie. Cowboy Karen, pretty good. Needs to be painted. I'm thinking just like a red coat, red leather, like oxblood coat, to keep her, you know, in line with her Karen-y past. Unwiser says, I think the hat looks great. And Silver says, we wear bad hats together. A secret fourth Karen? There's actually there's one more Karen. This one does need more work on the model before I can prime it. And I think you'll be able to see daylight through the gap where her head meets the model. But we've also got some kind of a sweet fantasy swordswoman Karen, which I don't have a name for yet. Needs a little bit more work on the model and also needs to be primed and painted. But these are the Karens that we have in the works. In conclusion, these are all of the Karens we have in the works right now. 1 done, 2 primed but not done, and 1 that needs more modeling work before it can be ready. Cloud Karen. Paladin Karen, true. Gotta swap out the sword, though. Karen the Herbarian. Karen of Tarth. Oh, these are so good. What if Cowboy Karen is like Nightwing and has gone dark emo mode with no color? That is another option, right? Because Combat Karen, so Karen's colors. Let's take a look at our original standard size Karen. Karen Classic. Right, she's got some black in there. And so you can use black in the model. And like we used a lot of it on the Combat Karen, obviously. God, we got to find some miniatures game we can play on the channel with like either with all Karens or at least with Combat Karen, because I do like her more now that I'm looking at her here. What am I trying to say? It could be black spooky jacket, like a black leather duster Karen. Ooh, a black leather duster! Alright, I gotta consider that more thoroughly, because that might be the thing to do. And it would be fun practice to do, like, kind of highlights on black, because you could go in with, like, some light blue and do the edges and stuff. Could be cool. Soulfinder says, please, I need a Karen day. Renguet says, wait, if we do a game jam, this is an idea. We have an army of Karens who we mutate and biomechanically change into different bodies with different powers. I've thought about... You shouldn't talk about things that you're not going to do. I've thought about things that we could do that would use all of our various Karens. Because we have a lot of just like these Karen models. I've brought them onto stream before, but they're spread all over the place right now. We need to do some successful trial runs of like IRL board game stuff, I think, before we can do something really weird. We should try doing like a proof of concept first. Anyway, Chipmunk Hunk is 20 points, and also he is today's featured HeroClix. We also got to look at some Karens, so that's a nice thing. And now you know. And Soulfinder says, Cake King, order from Karen. Oh my god, the most dangerous order of all. Bam! Okay. Ugh, Mecha Karen is good. We should paint Mecha Karen. I'm painting mechs right now. I'm trying to paint 2 armies. So I've got this game, by Death Ray Designs called Steel Rift, which is a mech game. But crucially, it's like a skirmish game. So you only need a few guys, basically, to play it. And I'm trying to build 2 teams of 3 mechs. Trying to paint 2 teams of 3 mechs so I can play a whole game with painted guys. That's kind of my current painting project that I'm not making enough headway on. So I want to do that before I paint Mecha Karen, but maybe I should just suck it up and do it. Rangwat says I meant like a video game jam as a reference to her. But yeah, we should try out like community board game thing. Oh, I see what you mean. That would be a cool idea for a game jam too. Ugh. We gotta do Cake King 3 already. I feel weird about doing another game jam just because the last two have been not successful. We can say it. The last two have been failures. We've failed to produce a game that I was satisfied with on our last two outings with game jams. And it's put me off it a little bit. I'm a little bit apprehensive about trying to do it again. But I feel like in my heart, if I can just make Cake King 3, then I'll be back on the horse. So if says, I want Mecha Karen to either be totally mom-looking or absolutely bleeding carnage. We could put like bloodstains on the big robot hands. Pierogi Frenzy says, I wish I had the steady hands for painting minis, but alas, I have a really hard time painting like the really small stuff, the eyes and stuff. But I also have, I mean, yeah, I'm able to sort of do it. But when I watch videos of people painting on YouTube and stuff, I'm always blown away by how precise they are and also how fast and confidently they paint the models. Oh, Soulfighter says, this channel is always a winner for me. Ah, shucks, that's too nice. Shopkeep. This Stereo 8 approved machine here
is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel format. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
Oh, love to listen to some found sounds. That's all I need to know about that. Thank you. Okay, there's got to be a tape here. Not a tape here, but a tape here. What I wanted to do, though, was quick save. Great. Because I don't trust the autosave.
Rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Let's take a look here. Let's inspect the blue uniforms. Some Civil War miniatures. I mean, it's a whole different thing, but that's a weirdly popular thing. People like build, paint the regiments with the particular uniforms that they would have and stuff. Some people really get into Civil War miniature painting. Not me, though. Inspect the blue uniforms. Although I have we seen this on this channel? Do we need more show and tell today? Maybe we should save it for another time. I'll be right back. I think we've seen this before, but I do have something Civil War related that's a little bit of a trip. BRB. Hup. This could really be anything, said Pierogi Frenzy. Let me go to the HeroClix camera real quick. Bam. Oh, it's so creepy when there's nothing on the HeroClix camera. So when I was a wee teen, just get Karen in the background. That's much less creepy. When I was a wee teen, I went to Gettysburg with my family, which is the site, just in case, which is the site of a big battle during the Civil War in America, okay? And at the gift shop, there was a card game called Gettysburg. Bam! Which is actually the Dixie card game. Unfortunately, this is Robert E. Lee. But I have this card game that's about Gettysburg, and when you open it up, you've got some rules, and you might be like, oh, it's probably just like a cute little, like you go to a tourist site, they'll have something where it'll be like some weird little version of Go Fish or like some other, common card game. But no, I want to emphasize that the Gettysburg card game The rules look like this. This is some serious shit, the Gettysburg card game. These guys are not fucking around. You want to play the Gettysburg card game, you better be ready to read the fucking manual, dog. Pierogi Friend says, wow, Christmas gift for my mother-in-law done. Thank you. A cute little card game set in the Civil War. Yeah, so it is effed up because, I mean, so the thing that made me think of it is that, like, the guys in this, let's look at some nice Union boys, some Yankee boys. They are based on, like, real regiments and stuff. They saw the Oregon Trail and said, bah, what if it was a card game? But yeah, you play the Confederacy versus the Union. There's artillery and stuff. Basically, really what the game comes down to is it's a very complicated game, but the Confederacy will win what is it? The Confederacy has an advantage at the beginning of the game, but the Union will win if they can draw it out. And it's kind of that classic dynamic. So anyway, so I had this forever. I had these kicking around. And at some point, I was going through games in my closet, and I was like, I wonder if, like, you can get these cards still. I wonder if there's more of them online or something, because this is a semi-randomized deck. And you're supposed to buy, like, lots of decks to get all the cards. And the answer is, yes, you can, and they're for different battles from the Civil War. So not only do we have Gettysburg, but we also have the Battle of Bull Run and the Battle of Shiloh. So there you go. Those are my weird Civil War card games. The company that makes these still makes games. It's actually a bunch of streams back. We looked at like the weird RPG setting books that I had, where it was like an RPG game that some people had been playing for like 40 years and like wrote the encyclopedia book about their campaign setting. Same guys who made this game. In conclusion, there's a weird Gettysburg card game. I've only played it a few times. It's all right. It's pretty good. Selfish says Piotr Wood. Period. Anyway, yeah. So these are these cards. I think if you go online now. So I bought these because these are the ones from like 19. Like, let me look at actually when this was printed. So like I think the Battle of Bull Run or maybe Shiloh was the first one. Let me see if the rules will tell us when this was printed. So these cards, just to give you a little bit of context, were printed in, this is version 2.0, this is from 1994. So this is an old-ass game. And if you go on their website now, they still sell these games, but I think you buy all the cards. I don't think you buy, like, randomized packs anymore. I think for a higher price, they're like, you can buy the whole Gettysburg set, or the whole Bull Run set, or whatever. Pierogi Friend says, amazing, I bet those nice card makers obsessed with the Civil War have nothing problematic going on. Well, let me just read you a note from the back of one of these, which is... Oh, not Gettysburg. I need the Battle of Shiloh. So here's the descriptions from the back of some of these. So the first one is Bull Run, which says, Bull Run was the first major battle of the war, and the uniforms seen on the battle were especially varied and colorful. That's a fun fact. The Gettysburg one says, Gettysburg is considered the turning point of the Civil War. Relive the drama and the glory with Dixie. That's also an interesting fact. Here's the one that troubles me, and I get that, like, what I'm about to say can be interpreted as non-problematic, but let me just read it to you. You can make up your own mind. Shiloh was the first major battle of the West, a fateful battle the Confederates could have and should have won. Could have and should have won. There you go. There's Ulysses S. Grant, our president. Maybe just tactically, maybe it's an interesting battle because they seemed like they had the advantage, and then they didn't win. Like they should have won it, but they didn't. They didn't win it, and that's why it's interesting because it was an upset. But It's a bit rough. I think these guys live in the Pacific Northwest, though. Yeah, they're in Washington, so I don't know. I mean, you can be conservative and live in Washington, but I don't know. Sam the Geek says, Grant is the only president to be convicted of a crime while in office? Speeding. I heard that... Oh, man, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I heard that you probably can't be convicted of a crime while in office. Which brings me to... This is not political. This is not political, what I'm about to say. But I love that Donald Trump's legal strategy at this point is to try to delay legal proceedings in the hopes that he becomes president before facing any actual consequences as a result of the many criminal cases and civil cases open against him. Because it's crazy. Because it's crazy. Imagine if you did that. Imagine if you were like, oh my god, I've done too many crimes. I've got all this legal action against me. I guess I gotta become the president of the United States. I mean, it's my only option left is to become the president. Oh my god, what a crazy move. Sam the Geek says, appeals court says you can. DC Circuit ruled yesterday. Rango says, don't worry, when he faces consequences, he will just pay his way out. No doubt. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Anyway, I just think that that's fascinating. I think that it's fascinating that you could find yourself at a point in your life where it's just like, my best bet in order to beat the huge rap sheet coming down at me is to become president. Extreme National Treasure vibes, but like National Treasure 6? I have to become the president. I want to see that movie where Nick Cage... That's a Nick Cage movie. That's a Nick Cage movie. Okay, the movie cold opens in media res. Heist. Nicolas Cage is part of a crew. They're robbing the place. It's a bank or a casino or something else flashy. And it goes wrong. It's going great, and then until it all goes wrong. And now Nicolas Cage has no legal recourse. He's in so deep. His best bet, his lawyer's like, look, this is gonna sound crazy. And his lawyer's played by Jonah Hill, who says, look, I know this sounds crazy, but you gotta run for president. It's the only way out. And so now the movie isn't about the heist anymore. Now it's about Nick Cage running for president in order to not face the consequences of the heist. Okay. Oh. Soulfinder says, Trump has legit no money left after this case with E. Jean Carroll. My understanding is he just has less money in general than he seems to, or claims to. Rangoth says, America, a political system every day that argues in how it keeps working, that it is really good for everyone and has no loopholes or huge problems at all. None whatsoever. A flawless system. And Weisberg says, I think he should work his way to like fourth in line for president. Oh, and he has to assassinate the press and VP and speaker or whatever. That's so much better on Weisberg. Oh my god, they're like, look, you're never going to be president. You're never going to be president, but you might be able to become Speaker of the House. Oh, I really like that. Or maybe, yeah, he's able, he tries to become president, but they're like, it's not going to work. You're going to have to go for this lesser political office and kill your way to the top. I'd watch it. Soulfinder says, the amount will get slashed on appeal. Lots of precedent holds emotional damages to a 3-to-1 ratio. Nicolas Cage is Trump, not as Trump, because I don't want those two figures to be conflated. I think, but just as he's like his character in the movie Snake Eyes. You know, he's a smooth talking guy who's corrupt and stuff. But he's not Trump. I don't want him to like do the Trump hair or anything. I think that would ruin it for me. Oh, Soulfinder says, Sam the Geek, he legit is hemorrhaging money. In his case, they're just unraveling left and right. He's trying to appeal long enough to get to the election. He's going down. Or Lord of War. I haven't seen Lord of War. But that's Nick Cage, right? Okay. We're playing Disco Elysium today. Welcome to the stream. I just wanted to show you my weird Civil War card game. Let's inspect the blue uniforms. Oh my god, is that all it took? Is that all it took to kick us off on this huge tangent? Inspect the blue uniforms? Alright, inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
I do like gunmen on horses. Shopkeep, what are these?
A classic set. The figurines represent the 5th century Franco-Nigerian cavalry.
Inspect the figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers.
Brutal.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Garta, whose bitch it made me.
Okay. I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
Alright, let's dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table. Oh, I love a box of figurines, of like bulk figurines or bulk pieces. Ooh! I found out, so I've got a box here somewhere with just lots of little bits and pieces that are extra from various models that I built. And I use them. So from time to time, I'll have a figure that's missing a piece or something, and I'll go to my little box of bits and pieces and sub it in. When did I do that recently? I don't quite remember, but it happens from time to time. But crucially, I found out that the hobbyist word for those little bits and bobs is greebles. They're greebles! All the little bits and pieces, the little extra guns and hands and stuff. Oh, I love it. I remember where I used the greebles. Okay, I gotta show you where I used the greebles real quick. Real quick, just because I remembered. Okay, so, bam. So... this model was supposed to have... so he's like a weird monster, okay? That's where we'll start. There's not really a good way to do a reveal for this, so I'll just show you what I'm talking about. This model here is supposed to be like a weird demon guy. And those big arms coming up here and here were supposed to have long, gross, like, hands on them. But the hands, the set only came with one of the hands, which is a thing that happens a lot. Actually, a lot of these miniatures and stuff get mispacked and stuff. It's kind of annoying. So I went into my thing of greebles, and I got these little kind of just like spikes that I put on the end instead, and I think they look all right. It would be cool if he had big, creepy hands, but now he has little spikes, and I've got one creepy hand that I got to put back in the box of greebles that we can use for something else. Ringwood says, I recently saw Lord of the Rings for the first... oh, no, sorry, Lord of War. Sorry, I got excited. For the first time. Overall great and relevant film, but had a big sexism problem, IMO. All the women in it are one-note, sexualized, and treated like objects by its men without any commentary on it. Like it does the weapons industry, which I likely wouldn't have mentioned if it was once or twice. But it just keeps happening in the film as plot points sometimes. That's too bad. That's a bit disappointing. Also, I want to see more serious Nicolas Cage roles after that, because he did a very good job. Renguet, my suggestion to you, a movie that I think you might like, that is a Nicolas Cage movie, is the movie Mandy, which, it's not really like a serious movie, although it's played very seriously, if you haven't seen it. It's a revenge story, basically. Leaving Las Vegas is an actual good, serious Nicolas Cage movie. The thing you need to know about Mandy is it is an unhinged movie. It is truly like, not like, oh, that movie is insane. It is actually like a bit of an insane movie. And there's a chainsaw duel in it. There's a part where two guys fight each other with big, long chainsaws. This sounds great. I really liked it. There's not honestly a lot to it, but it's got a lot of style more than substance. You might like it based on kind of the things that I think that you like. Giant Patch says, this why people describe Star Wars as greebly sci-fi? It actually might be. I haven't heard that before, but that does sound kind of right. Anyway, here's a recent use of greebles by me. And I got a big hand, so maybe we can make Karen with one big gross hand. Perfect. Okay, let's try to dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table.
Everything you pick out seems
No!
chipped and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys.
I need interfacing? I should have... No, I'm wearing my interfacing gloves. Can I get more interfacing? Sorry, I know that that's not really a good use of that, but... Do you have anything that will give me more interfacing? No. We've got our gloves on. That will help with that already. Retry! Yeah, definite retry.
You see rows.
No,
of
this is
toy
important to your
soldiers
brand.
guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Why?
Oh, yeah!
A headless man riding a horse. A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that save foul.
That is sick as hell. What is this?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points at the decapitated figurine. Rangwet says, Lord of War overall, though, strong commentary on the weapons industry. Well acted and directed with some very big standouts, which kept its stories and moments tense and engaging, even though there's very little action. I would watch Lord of War. It's on Netflix, right? I think it is, at least in the U.S. I should watch that. I love Nicolas Cage. Yeah, that sounds like a good one for me.
50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
50 cents, hell yeah.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Purchase the Headless Fallen Rider and his cap.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
Step away from the table. Okay, hold up. Let's see this bad boy. The plastic headless Fallen Rider. Oh, and he's riding like a sweet bull! He's not just riding a horse. Okay. Sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating either depression or pride. Comes as a set with the famous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. Pretty cool. We got a miniature. Why did we do this? Okay. No tapes? We didn't actually try speaking to this man, so let's do that.
If you don't mind, please put the flash...
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
Oh, sorry about that.
I do appreciate it.
I can accommodate this. You cannot resist miniatures, even in video games? Ugh. I have literally... Okay. We don't need to get into it, but the company that made this miniature and this miniature, they launched a new edition of their game, and they're phasing out all their old guys. I mean, for like 20 years, these guys kept selling models from like the first edition and updating the rules and stuff. And although they have updated the rules for the old models in the game, they've done it in kind of a perfunctory way. There are a small subset that are like, these are the ones we've really tested, that are like balanced, and then everything else we kind of converted over, but whatever, it's fine. More importantly, that meant that they liquidated their warehouse. And so in December, they like fire sold all their old models, some of which again have been kicking around for like 10, 15 years, whatever. Giant Sponge says, no, this is my thing, keeps holding flashlight. Anyway, I have this box to go through of miniatures that I bought on tremendous sale. I mean, some of them like 90% off. That just happens to be here. But I do have a buying little men problem. We got the Trollkins. We got this guy on a horse. We can't really see him though. I went overboard is what I'm trying to say. There was an opportunity to buy these at a reduced price, and I went way overboard and bought way too many. But the good news is now we have Dracula on a horse. And what I'm saying is, yes, I can't resist miniatures, even in video games, but especially in real life. Okay, Rangwet says, even though I was surprised Nick Cage for me was not the standout for acting in the film, Jared Leto as the drug-addicted brother Vitaly, and Eamon Walker as warlord Andre Batiste were two highlights for acting to me in the film. Hell yeah, is his horse a vampire as well? His horse is... this was the big mistake. So this guy here I bought. Okay, so... his horse is not a vampire. It's just a regular horse. But the problem is this guy is a commander for an army. The problem is he synergizes with other guys on horses, and I have no other guys on horses in this particular faction. So I don't know why. I don't know why I got him. I don't really know why, but I like him a lot. Progifrin says, nah, man, minis rule. I live vicariously through you. The only animal vampire is Bunicula. Do you have anything else cool here that's worth taking a look at right now? Let's see. We got, no, that's not that cool. Oh. Yeah, we got the Night Troll. Bam. I want to paint this guy sometime soon. I need to build him and stuff first, but he's just a guy with a gross troll with a big long tongue, who I'm very much looking forward to build and paint. Ringawet says, anyway, I gotta go. Bye. All right, don't worry, Ringawet. We're almost wrapped up with the stream. But good to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Unwiser says, lone horse. I have other guys on horses, but although they're a pain to paint because of the whole high surface area thing. Yeah, this guy I don't... It's a sunk cost thing. I'm not going to buy more guys, but in order to make a horse army that I'm never going to play with. But yeah, I do have the horseman. Maybe we should give it away or something. Something to think about. Okay, what's important is we're not shining the light in this guy's face. Giant Spatch says you can collect 1/35th scale figures in the original Final Fantasy VII. They notoriously do nothing. In 1997, people thought that the name 1/35th Soldier meant there were 35 in the game. Oh, 1 of 35 Soldier. That's funny. I have my eye on... I'm not going to... So, as much as I can't buy any more Little Men, I really can't buy more Little Men for a new game. But... Mantic Games, who made the Hellboy board game, among other things, are about to do a Kickstarter for an, an epic scale, 1/60th scale, little tiny guys, 6mm scale, that's what it is. Science fiction stuff, little space marines and things, teeny tiny guys. And I'm telling myself, I'm just going to look at this. I'm just going to learn how to play this game. I'm going to see if it's really interesting. But I'm not going to support this Kickstarter. But we'll see what happens. I think you mean Polly Pocket scale. Exactly. Okay, let's put away the flashlight real quick, and then we'll talk to this man and see if we can buy a tape from him, and then we'll wrap it up here. Tools. Give me the chain cutters instead. Whoa. Why didn't I put the flashlight down? Okay, let's just... There you go.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you have any recordings of the Col du Mamadakwa?
The Col du Mamadakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I've been thinking of quitting the RCM and becoming a cryptozoologist.
How interesting. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Col du Mamadakwa.
Oh my god, we're making a connection with this man.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, lost touch with them after all of that.
That sounds so cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording.
Hey, Larry Berndorf, welcome. Says I'm really good at coming in here at the last minute. Welcome. You really are. We are truly about to wrap up.
So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
Did he ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up, and combined them into the Symphonia Col du Mamadakwa.
Okay, follow me on this. Maybe they recorded this on a tape that has music on the other side of the tape that we can sing at karaoke. Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. but I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
Spin that bird song.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz.
Larry Burdorf says Skyrim misses
audible to the
you.
human
Oh,
ear.
I miss Skyrim a little bit
It
too.
will be strange.
Unwisebird says food $200, household supplies $100, miniatures $2,300. Please help, my family is dying. Listen, I couldn't not buy those miniatures, so all the guys in that box were about $100, and compared to the normal price, I got the receipt, and they were basically, it was $100 having been discounted down by $550 of stuff. It was a fire sale. I had to buy them. I couldn't resist.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortable.
But I did buy $100 of
like
Little
it's
Men that
coming
I'm
not
never gonna
from the
paint.
speakers,
So
but
maybe
also
I'm
from
the
inside your
idiot.
chest. Breathing is becoming difficult.
No.
You feel something in your chest.
Good thing you found a niche hobby.
It's spreading to your left arm,
No.
jaw.
When was the last time we quick saved? Why did listening to that give me a heart attack? I listened to a tape.
Yeah. Screaming isn't happening on account. All you feel is pain. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him.
Well, that was Disco Elysium for today. Oh no! We quick saved somewhere in that store. We'll get the miniature again next time. Oh no! Oh, it's brutal. We died again. We're getting killed a lot. We got not killed a lot for the first 20 hours, and it seems like the next 10 hours is just gonna be us dying on loop like we're playing Dragon Slayer. What an ending! LOL! Oh, hate to see it. We'll wrap up here today. We'll probably try to do one more stream this week. Because my Saturday is like wide open. So maybe we can build the cat house or do something like that then. Let me just say though, in the meantime, watch for that in the Discord. And in the meantime, if you watched any of this live tonight, thank you so much for watching live. Thanks for hanging out. Always, it's so much better when there's lots of wonderful people in chat. And so I really enjoy that. If you watch this as a recording or on YouTube, come on over, come be in chat sometime. Come to Twitch, this is where it's the most fun to watch this, I promise. However you watch this, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.